Hello and welcome to my Amsterdam travel vlog. I tend to put these little videos together on my second channel whenever my partner Brian and I travel to a new place, and a couple days ago we just got back from our 4-day visit to the Netherlands. So I'm just going to narrate over what we did each day. I'll give some little tips and tricks here and there, and I'll show you clips from our journey. So the first thing that we did when we got to Amsterdam was go to our hotel and check in and take a quick nap because we did an overnight flight, and so we tried to sleep, but neither of us were too successful, so we needed to get a little bit of sleep during the day before we carried on with the rest of our activities and to adjust to the time zone change over there. But after that, we went to a place called Food Holland. The Food Holland has a bunch of individual kiosks with a bunch of different kinds of food. This was our first trip here, and it was not our last during our stay. We came back another time to eat here. I got some cheesy pasta with some meatballs, and Brian got these really fancy hot dogs. Then we booked a canal cruise. We did not pre-book this ahead of time. I just found one online that looked like it had an open boat, and that's the one that I wanted to do because it was not raining. I didn't book ahead of time because I was like, oh, well, if it's raining, we book an open boat, then we're kind of screwed. So it was kind of like a day of decision. I booked on my phone, and we booked it for I think 6:15 in the evening, and we just kind of went to the pickup point where they said the boat would be, and they were like, oh, we accidentally overbooked the boat, so we're gonna put you on the 6:40 one, which was fine. We kind of just like chilled over by the canal while we waited, and they gave us free drinks, and we got on the Heineken themed canal cruise, and we took a canal cruise tour all across the city, which was really beautiful and lovely. The tour guide was great, super chill, gave kind of different facts about the history of Amsterdam, which was like a great tone setter for the rest of our trip, because when we would pass by different buildings and things, we had a little bit more context as to like why they were the way they were, which was great. Also, we did this at 6:40, and so we kind of got to watch the sunset and watch all the lights go on around the bridges in the city and stuff, which was a really nice touch. So I do recommend this, and if you can do it your first day, I think it's a good primer for, you know, your experience in the rest of the city. Then we went to a coffee shop to buy some coffee. This was not our first time here, and it was not our last. Anyway, take a look at this video of Brian running around our hotel that had the freaky lights from Severance. The next morning, our main excursion was to the Anne Frank house, which you do have to book in advance. I booked this about a month in advance. Just check the calendar on the website every day for when the date that you plan on visiting opens, and then book your time. But before that, we did have time to get some breakfast, so we went to Chun, which if you are on Amsterdam TikTok, you've probably seen. It's one of those spots that TikTok blew up, so much so that they open at 10 a.m. You have to start queuing sort of before then. We got there at like 9:30 and waited a half an hour. We were the second people into Chun that day, but when the line gets long, they make you wait on the other side of the street to prevent blocking the other businesses on that road. So we didn't have to do that. We luckily were early enough that we got in, we had our sandwich, and it was delicious.
My name's Brian, and welcome to Jackass. Yeah. Like it's 5 big rooms.
Then, of course, we went over to the Anne Frank house. Our reservation was at 11:15. They ask that you do not film inside, so obviously, out of respect, I did not film inside. This is what the outside of it looks like. Very educational, very eye-opening, groundbreaking sort of experience. Obviously, definitely would recommend. I'm not gonna be like, oh, like it's a fun time, you should go. It's not a fun time. But it was one of the highlights of our trip. Definitely take advantage of that and book in advance. Then for lunch, we got some fries at Fabel Friets. Fries are very big in Amsterdam. There's a lot of highly rated fries spots, but this is another one that we found on TikTok, and we definitely did have to wait in the other end of the street line for this, but it went pretty fast. Brian got the fries that had the mayo and truffle and Parmesan. I just got the Parmesan, and they were delicious. They were really, really good. Then we headed over to our next reservation of the day. I booked this museum date and time in advance. We went to the Rijksmuseum. It's this big, beautiful museum in the city center. They have all kinds of art ranging from all kinds of time periods. It's absolutely gorgeous inside. We spent about 3 hours just sort of taking a look at everything, and then they also have this beautiful like yard area in the back, so we spent some time there. We also took videos in this little like fountain sculpture thing that they have back there, which was super cute. Then we went back to the hotel for a bit and took a nap, and we went back out to explore the red light district. I don't have many videos of this area because you're not supposed to take a ton of videos over here out of respect for the sex workers. It was a very interesting experience. They have some more kind of touristy stuff over here, but we just mainly went to kind of like look around and just see it for the sake of seeing it. And then we went to Wagamama for dinner. This is a chain of restaurants that is also in America, but we were hungry. It was late. It's a long story. I had some ramen. It was good. The next morning, we decided we wanted to get some traditional Dutch breakfast, Dutch pancakes specifically, before our next out of Amsterdam excursion, and we went to this pancake place that is in a literal carousel. Brian got a traditional flat Dutch pancake with bacon and cheese, so it was a little bit more savory, and I got these little mini Dutch pancakes called puffertjes, I think they're pronounced, and they were good. Next up, we journeyed about 30 minutes outside of Amsterdam to check out a little traditional Dutch town called Zaanse Schans. You've probably seen this on TikTok. That's how we discovered it. It's a big, like, you know, if you're going to Amsterdam for a couple days and you want to like experience more of like a Dutch tradition, this is where you go. You can see some windmills. We got to go inside of a windmill.
Please go, please.
And then like Chris Jury trades Capo Caco out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. I mean, you guys got Truba, that's cool. But like,
Fuck.
yeah.
They also had a clog making shop, so we got to see that, and they had a cheese shop, and we got to try a ton of different kinds of cheeses, which is like my heaven, like my own personal heaven. I love cheese, so this was great. We had a lovely time.
Update, just an update here. These are new ducks. The ducks that were harassing us before flew away.
Yeah.
These are a pair of new ducks.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool as hell.
Then everything kind of fell apart for a little bit because I got us lost. Basically, we wanted to go to a secondary location that is nearby Zaanse Schans called Zaandam, which I'll get to in a second. But I just put in our rideshare app to go to Zaandam, which is a town and not like, you know, the place that we were trying to go specifically. So we got a little lost. We had to walk. But in that journey, we stumbled upon a Dutch Dunkin'. And Dunkin' is Brian's favorite thing ever. So Brian got to take a picture at the Dutch Dunkin' and get coffee. So, you know, we rallied a little bit after that. And the place that we were trying to go was Zaandam, also known as the Lego Village, which has this really cool architecture. We also saw this on TikTok, and people tend to pair this location with Zaanse Schans because they are close by one another. This is the only location where I think we got influenced a little too well, because I would say it's probably not worth, like, the trip. Like, the Lego building in and of itself, it's the hotel here, is really cool to look at, but, like, literally it's, like, 3 buildings in the middle of a very average sort of shopping center. So, like, once you kind of, like, look at the buildings and you, like, take a picture, that's kind of it. And, like, it looks cool, but, like, a lot of these TikTok videos kind of make it look like way more than it is. So I would probably not recommend, like, if you have a limited amount of time, taking an excursion to go over here if you're kind of, like, on a time crunch. But that was okay. We still had a good time. Then we finished the night with some stroopwafels, which are a very well-known dessert in Amsterdam. And maybe it was just the place we went, but they were all right. I wasn't super crazy about them, but they were just, you know, good little sweet treat to end the day. The next morning we got on a bus to go to the Keukenhof Gardens, which are the famous tulip gardens in Amsterdam. We initially were not going to go here because we were going pretty early in tulip season. The peak of tulip season is around mid-April, and so this was like the first weekend that Keukenhof happened to be open, so we were like, okay, it's open, I guess we should probably go, right? We did book this ticket in advance, and we booked the transit option, so we just had to go to like this tourist location, and then they sort of put us on a bus, and then you could just like get a bus back to Amsterdam every 30 minutes or so, and so that's the option that we chose. The grounds themselves were beautiful. It's a really beautiful flower garden. I will say, obviously, we were not there at the peak of tulip season, so when you go on social media and you see these rows of beautiful, colorful tulips, those are still budding as of right now, but we did get to see some of the ones that they all planted, like, you know, these kind of rows of yellow ones, and that was pretty cool. We got back to the city center of Amsterdam at around 1 p.m., and Basically, Brian and I had a list of like stuff that we wanted to try and check off of our list, and a lot of those things happened to be treats that were all kind of like close to each other in this one part of the city that we hadn't been to yet, so we called it our little treat tour.
Treat tour.
First up, we got these chocolate cream-filled cookies at a cookie bakery called Van Steeple. This is the only kind of cookie that they sell, and it was absolutely delicious. I'm still thinking about it. It's amazing. It's one of the best cookies I've ever had in my life. No cap. Then we went over to Tony's Chocolonely, which is a famous Dutch chocolate brand. They do have like a touristy thing here where you can make your own chocolate bar, and that's what we came to do, but we got there and the machine to make your own chocolate bar was not working, which was sad, but we still got some chocolate to take home. Then we went to Winkle to try some of their famous apple pie. We had a bit of a crisis during when we were eating this, so I did not get a video of it. Brian did not get any videos of it, but here's a picture of it that I found online, and it was good. The aforementioned crisis being that I had booked a reservation in advance for the Van Gogh Museum, which we did end up going to, which was great, but I booked it for the incorrect time. Basically, you know, the tickets are in military time, and I booked it thinking that I booked it for 3:15, and I actually ended up booking it for 1:15, and I didn't realize that, but we ended up going to the Van Gogh Museum anyway and just kind of like passing off our tickets, and they let us in. It was fine. It ended up being fine. Crisis averted. Then we went back to our hotel for another nap, and then we went back out for dinner at a pasta place called Linguini. This pasta was so good. I also booked this reservation in advance, and it was a really great way to cap off the last evening of our trip. So yeah, that was Amsterdam. It was a lovely experience. I kind of wish we had more time because while we did get to do a lot, there is so much more that we didn't get to do and explore, and it is a place that I would definitely like to come back to one day. My biggest recommendation, of course, is to book all of the museums and all of the really popular touristy stuff in advance because that definitely helped us plan the rest of our day around those locations. If you've been to Amsterdam, if you're from there, let us know how you think we did. Give us recommendations for next time, and I'll see you later.